from WFSB.com, Eyewitness News, Channel 3. Let's see, where are they out of? It doesn't say. Perhaps Montana, I'm not sure. At any rate, these new wristbands are a wearable way to prove that you are vaccinated. That's right.
Yeah, I'm not vaccinated. I'm not proving it to you.
They got these little wristbands. They're all blue and white, and they've got like your name on it with a QR code. That's right. That doesn't sound creepy at all. Immuniband is a blue silicone bracelet that has two purposes. First, it has a built-in QR code that carries your COVID-19 vaccination card's information that can be used as a backup for people who lose or misplace their CDC vaccination card. Immuniband's second function is to show an outward display that a person has been fully vaccinated, thus making them safe to be near.
Oh my God! I so want to get like a clone of this, but like have the wristband be black to show that you're not vaccinated, so that we can all go around showing, hey, I'm not vaccinated.
I'm gonna get a T-shirt that has my STD results when I don't have AIDS, so everyone knows I don't have AIDS.
Oh,
that's the same thing.
Yikes.
Right? Yes.
That's so cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Literally.
It would make people cringe if you substitute coronavirus for, well, any other disease, really, any other debilitating type of thing.
It should make them feel safe that I don't have AIDS.
And first of all, the coronavirus isn't that bad.
Yeah, you've had it.
I've had it. Right?
So a bunch of people here have had it, actually.
Yeah, I've had it.
I think we've all probably had it. And I don't think any of us have, had any kind of lasting, damage. I mean, other than maybe a little bit of breathing problems, but not anything that would be, something to be freaking out over.
Well, even the breathing problems that I had went away after, the last week, right?
Yeah.
I'm a former smoker, and I smoked really heavily, sometimes 2.5, as many as 3 packs in a day. But I've been quit for over a decade now. So, but even when I get like a cold or something, all my symptoms go away, and it goes right into my lungs, and I cough for a while.
Right. So I think I want to say the worst that I've seen, other than 70-year-old who died, is basically lasting breathing issues, but only so minor they're almost not noticeable.
Yeah, and Arya is the only person I know who's had the lack of taste and smell for this long. She's had it for like a month now, right?
Oh, she still can't taste
really?
it? I was not aware of this.
I guess it's just like it's not as good as it used to be or something. But yeah, with me it was like a week and a half, and that was crazy. Like I was like, oh my God, I can't deal with this anymore, and it finally went away.
It is weird how different people have the different symptoms. Right, because I had a week of sleeping and then being cold and hot, right? I would be shivering but sweating, right? Or the opposite of that, whatever that is. But yeah, it was interesting to compare the different symptoms with how other people had their symptoms too. They manifest differently. 603-283-6160. Our number 3 is next. This is Free Talk Live.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Do you feel like your nation, state, or community no longer holds your values? Have you dreamt of a place where people agree that liberty is important and are free to pursue their projects so long as they respect the property of others? There are many people just like you that are discovering freeprivatecities.com. Their social media links are at the upper right of the page at freeprivatecities.com. All skill levels will be needed when the first of the Free Private Cities opens. It's sooner than you think. Stop arguing and build. freeprivatecities.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.
You're listening to Heartland Newsfeed Radio Network, live 24/7 at heartlandnewsfeed.com.
This stream is supported by advertisers and contributions by you.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
They're filing suit. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. 2 states taking the Biden administration to court over how Homeland Security carries out deportations.
The attorneys general of Arizona and Montana asked a judge Friday to suspend the deportation guidance issued to Immigration Customs Enforcement, or ICE, while their lawsuit against Homeland Security plays out. The guidance limited who should qualify for deportation to those who posed a national security threat, just recently crossed the border, or had been convicted of an aggravated felony. In their complaint, they cite statistics showing that since the guidance was activated in February, ICE deportations fell by almost 50%. In the DHS memo, the acting director of ICE explains that guidance is needed due to limited resources, which require prioritizing who gets removed. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Earlier today, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas was at a border facility in Donna, Texas, highlighting a decrease in the number of children being held in border facilities, saying they used to wait for days before being transferred to Health and Human Services. Now it's about 24 hours. And he said pathways will be put in place so parents don't feel like they have to put their children in the hands of smugglers.
There is unanimous agreement that our immigration system is broken and immigration reform is desperately needed.
He says Congress has passed laws that would allow the reforms to happen. The Justice Department is proposing a rule that would broaden the definition of a firearm, requiring some gun-making kits to have a serial number, as President Biden has promised to crack down on so-called ghost guns, which are homemade guns that are untraceable because they don't have serial numbers. The owner of a bar in Northern California is under arrest after authorities say he made to order fake COVID vaccination cards were sold to undercover agents for $20 each. America is listening to Fox News.
Indeed is the job site that makes hiring as easy as 1, 2, 3. Post, screen, and interview. All on Indeed. Get your quality shortlist of candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description faster. Only pay for the candidates that meet must-have qualifications. According to Talent Nest, Indeed delivers 4 times more hires than all other job sites combined. If you're hiring, you need Indeed. Get started right now with the free $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/Fox. Indeed.com/Fox. Offer valid through June 30th. Terms and conditions apply.
Another round of indirect talks in Vienna between the U.S. and Iran.
The Biden administration is looking to rejoin a deal with other international partners aimed at reining in Iran's suspect nuclear program. The Trump administration left it in 2018. In comments today, President Biden says he is still waiting to see how serious Iran is. There had been talk recently, mostly from Iranian state media, that an agreement was imminent. While no specific progress was made today, all sides agreed technical talks would continue. The UN nuclear watchdog agency, the IAEA, is set to lose important oversight capabilities regarding Iran's nuclear program later this month.
Fox's Greg Palcott. President Biden says he expects to be able to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin soon, as the White House says ongoing differences between the U.S. and Russia would not need to be resolved in advance of a summit. This week, Secretary of State Antony Blinken called the buildup of Russian troops near Ukraine reckless, increasing tensions between the U.S. and Moscow. Britain is beginning to ease its COVID-related bans on travel.
Britain says people here will be allowed to take vacations overseas from the middle of this month, lifting a ban imposed for the coronavirus.
We want to start looking outward again.
Transport Secretary Grant Shapps announced what he called a cautious relaxation. Travellers can visit 17 countries without quarantining when they return to the UK.
We want a summer in which, with the help of vaccines and testings, we can reunite family and friends.
But the United States is not on the list, at least not yet, and neither is the UK's neighbour, France. In London, Simon Owen, Fox News.
America's employers added 266,000 jobs last month, sharply lower than in March, and a sign that some businesses are struggling to find enough workers as the economic recovery strengthens. I'm Lisa Lacera, and this is Fox News.
Nutritional experts have dubbed turmeric the remedy of the century, and Stop Aging Now has harnessed the power of this medicinal herb in their #1 best-selling formula, CoQ10 Ultra. Get a 30-day supply for 40% off plus free shipping at stopagingnow.com with promo code FOX. Deep inside the turmeric root lies the compound curcumin. It fights inflammation and free radicals from head to toe for a strong heart, sharp brain, pain-free joints, and healthy aging. CoQ10 Ultra pairs premium curcumin with CoQ10, an essential cellular energizer. This rare combination has revitalized the lives of thousands like Nancy from West Virginia, who raves, CoQ10 Ultra helps me stay mentally and physically fit. At 60, I'm able to be active with my grandkids. Change your life too before this offer ends. Go to stopagingnow.com right now for 40% off plus free shipping with promo code FOX. That's stopagingnow.com, promo code FOX.
Here is a look at weather from the Heartland Newsfeed Weather Center. Friday, a slight chance of showers in the afternoon, otherwise increasing clouds with a high near 66. Friday night, partly cloudy with a low around 43. Saturday, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise mostly cloudy with a high near 57. That's the latest weather. Check out more news and weather on our website at heartlandnewsfeed.com.
Free Talk Live.
Bonnie, what are you doing over there? You got natty ice? You getting tanked on a Friday night?
No, I have bubbly water.
Oh, right. That's right. The colors look very much like natty ice or one of them cheap light beers, the generic version.
I didn't know you were going to tell on me, Captain.
Neither did I. Neither did I. It just happened.
No, I'm not drinking natty ice.
All right. This is Free Talk Live, in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
Still, it is Free Talk Live. And if you want to call in and take control of the airwaves, talk about whatever's on your mind, you can do that by dialing 603-283-6160. In the studio tonight, it's myself, the captain.
It's Bonnie.
And Chris.
We've been talking about, or we were beginning to talk about, this story from WFSB Eyewitness News 3 about something called an immunoband. What is an immunoband, you might ask? Well, it's a blue silicone bracelet that has two purposes. One, it has a QR code that carries a whole bunch of your medical data information, including your COVID-19 vaccination information. But the second function is to show an outward display that a person has been fully vaccinated, thus making them safe to be near. So, I mean, this implies that it's not safe to be near people right now, which seems to be that it is. You know, everybody's talking about this 6-foot socialist distancing and all that kind of stuff, wearing the masks and no, it's fine. Really, it's fine. You'll get it and you'll get over it unless, you're elderly, you have some exceptional health conditions already. But the same thing can be said for almost every kind of illness. If you are elderly and you have some sort of exceptional medical problem,
you're at greater risk as you age. So yeah,
if you get the flu,
I don't know. I think there's definitely something to be said about people of a certain age range not being overly outgoing right now, I think, but certainly the majority of people who are alive have nothing to fear.
I remember not too many months ago when Ian was not kidnapped, some lady called in and said something like, I just want to let you guys know, it's your choice or whatever to not wear the masks, but I am a nurse and I take care of my father-in-law, so I wear the mask everywhere and I'm really careful. And I wish I was on the show that night. I was listening. I was just I would have asked her, did you not do that last year because of the flu, you irresponsible woman? What's the difference?
Yeah.
Old people have always died from the flu.
I mean, I can see a nurse wanting to protect herself or others more so if she deals with patients that, elderly patients especially.
But was she doing it 1 year before when the flu was also already existing?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, the thing is, like, you'll also often see nurses doing things that the normal population doesn't do. So I don't necessarily know.
She was doing something she wasn't doing a year before, is my point.
Yeah, but there's like different levels of risk, right? Like a year before, she probably was still putting a mask on in certain circumstances, right? Not necessarily on the outside.
She wasn't visiting this dad or whatever it was. She was always wearing a mask and not visiting this dad, or like she was the only one taking care of him or something like that. Did people avoid their family members a year ago because of the flu?
No, they didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's not that unreasonable to take some amount of precaution if you're going to see your elderly parent, as opposed to, last year. But I do see. But
it hasn't gone up. The flu went down. So
the flu disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, but you would do the same thing if there was a worse flu, or the flu had more likely than.
But it hasn't proven to be worse.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good question. I mean, it depends on, I think, what data you're looking at and how you're interpreting it.
And there's other things other than the flu she could have given him 1 year ago.
Right. So I think, though, looking at it from a different perspective, like I'm going to take the opposite perspective, right? So if I'm looking at this, right, and I'm looking at the data and I'm interpreting it differently than you, and I'm interpreting it as being worse than the flu and more likely to kill my father than the flu was last year, then I might do something that I didn't do last year. And that's, I think, the perspective that maybe that nurse was looking at it from.
Because she's only getting her information from the government. Yeah, exactly. What you just talked about is the root problem. The only reason that she thinks that there's some big difference this year is because the government is pushing this narrative that it's so much worse, and it's really not. If you look at, have you seen any of the work Tom Woods has been doing on this?
Yeah, I mean, there's different perspectives. There's different experts giving different perspectives on this, on the data, too. So, I know that the government, I know it's easy to just, say the government, but there's different experts, both government and non-government and in different governments, right, that are giving, different opinions on this. Not everybody's opinion is the same.
Well, the Immuniband is something that scares me because scares probably not the right word. It concerns me because this is just a different way. It seems like almost every week we cover something that resembles Papers, Please.
Yeah, I think that is a
and like
more disturbing aspect of
all
this,
of the previous things that they've launched to try and do this, right? Oh, we're going to embed a microchip, or we're going to make it, we're going to track you on your phone with an app, with,
right?
That kind of thing. All of these things haven't come to fruition, and so it seems to me like they're softballing stuff out there to see what people might accept. And this, to me, seems like the next thing in their arsenal. They're like, well, what if it's just a silicone wristband that people have to wear, right? Like, are people dumb enough to go for that? This new technology in the form of a wearable wristband could carry your COVID-19 vaccination card's information and tell others around you that you've been fully vaccinated. How does this Immuniband work? Wearers have to upload their vaccination cards for review before they can receive the band. The documentation is stored on a server compliant with medical privacy laws, and the process is end-to-end encrypted, the company said in a news release. The company makes two bands, one with just the QR code and another with the QR code plus the wearer's name and type of vaccine they received. That is the brand name. It'll say, Chris, and then it'll say Moderna or Pfizer or Johnson & Johnson on it. The bands are both priced at $19.99. So this is a free market thing. The code can be scanned with a smartphone to prove vaccination, the company said. So before I go on reading this, I just want to say that, yes, this is the market in action, seeing a need and filling it.
So
right?
What would stop somebody from going out there just selling the same thing, basically, but not certifying, or not looking at those records? And for $10, this doesn't sound like something that would be expensive.
I'm pretty sure it's not illegal to sell blue silicone wristbands with a QR code on it.
Right.
Well, they would have to be able to be scanned,
and nobody's going to check
right?
it.
And go.
No, because nobody's going to actually check this. I mean, this is a show thing. I mean, this is a fashion statement. I mean, think about this for a moment.
Maybe in some circumstances you'd be right, but there might be you need to get your wristband scanned to come into this, sports show or something.
But most people are not going to have this or go out and buy it.
Yeah.
One Philadelphia restaurant is using Immunibands to try to make customers feel more comfortable by making clear its employees are vaccinated. Most of the staff members at El Mercury sport the Immuniband, according to CNN affiliate WPVI. The owner of El Murky, Sophia De Leon, told WPVI she made the move so customers would know it was safe to eat from her restaurant. Because, like, all the restaurants that stayed open that didn't have this weren't safe before. I mean, it was
there's a risk. There's a risk to living, right? Like, there's a risk to getting in your car. I mean, if you really think there is a sufficient enough risk, right, don't go out, right? Like it's not that hard.
I agree. She goes on to say, it was really important for me to have everybody vaccinated, to have everyone come back to work and feel safe, De Leon said. Immuniband President Tashoff Burnton, that's an interesting name, told CNN restaurants in Los Angeles and Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, have also bought into the bans. Benton said he hopes the use will become more widespread and help demonstrate support for the vaccination program and help people feel more comfortable as the economy continues to open. It's a way of saying, look, I'm safe, and try to de-escalate some of the tension and fear that people feel about a year into the lockdown. A portion of the profits from the bans go to COVID relief and recovery efforts. So,
sounds like a scam.
Yeah, and I mean, the fear that you feel of other people is manufactured. It's been manufactured by propaganda, propped up and provided by the institution known as government. More Free Talk Live is on the way. 603-283-6160.
The Terran Federation and the Terran League have been killing each other for decades. Sheltered, wealthy, and light years from the threat, the members of the 500 have no interest in changing that. When Rear Admiral Terrence Murphy is given governorship of a backwater system, a risk-free path to wealth and power is his for the taking. But Murphy is a man of honor, duty, and responsibility. He intends to stop the killing, whatever the cost. Governor, by David Weber and Richard Fox, from BaneBooks.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
Do you feel like your nation, state, or community no longer holds your values? Have you dreamt of a place where people agree that liberty is important and are free to pursue their projects so long as they respect the property of others? There are many people just like you that are discovering freeprivatecities.com. Their social media links are at the upper right of the page at freeprivatecities.com. All skill levels will be needed when the first of the Free Private Cities opens. It's sooner than you think. Stop arguing and build.